Hi guys, and welcome to today's Bitcoin USD breakdown. Now, of course, we are on the 1 hour time frame and of course on Bitcoin USD. So stick around because obviously it is the Monday and I'm going to be basically talking about what's going to be happening, what we're actually looking for this week. Now, unfortunately, we missed out on this big move here last week. And this is now week 4, so we are still sitting on 20%. So if you want to stick around, find out the reason why you stick around. 4 weeks, 20%, pretty good. Still an average of roughly 6% a week. Somewhere around that mark. Even 5% a week would be better. But 5% a week, still really good. So let's get one massive trade. Now, I'm still looking for something like this, right? Something to come up around this line is what we're looking at. Have a stop loss somewhere up here, and then obviously push down. Now, the crazy thing about that prediction is how this pivot line has now appeared. The algorithm has spit out that right here, right now, we have this area of resistance. And look what is happening down here as well. We've come up, we've burst through, we might even use this line potentially within the rest of this hour, and then, in fact, let me just zoom in a little bit, on the rest of the hour, come all the way up to here, and then fall down, just like we were predicting earlier on the Saturday. So that's what I believe could still possibly happen. This is what our original area, where we thought, hey, come into here, this line, and it's going to be used as, some sort of resistance. That's the area we're interested in. And of course, look, the algorithm, again, that I have no control over, I can't do anything. Look how close it actually is to that area of interest that we were looking at previously. So maybe we actually bring this down right onto this pivot line. We can bring this a little bit higher. Much like when we were looking at this one, it still can burst through. We don't really want that to happen. Hence why I've got a bit of a bigger stop loss this time. Maybe somewhere around this area. That would be perfect. So if it came through, we have more of an area where it can spike up and hang about. And then, of course, what we'll be looking for is something like this. Now, that is just one option that I am potentially looking at. The next would be something like this. And this would be something that I'd be very interested in. There's two options, really, that I'm looking at. Number one is that it comes down, uses this platform, comes up, and then falls down and has one big push, probably further to the downside. Something like this. Where would our entry be? We would wait for the retest to come up around this area here. So this particular area would be where I would be looking to enter. We would do something along these lines once again. Go up to here, have a bigger stop loss, and even if we went straight through here, you're still looking at a 2.82. That's realistically what I would be looking at. Now, of course, I'm going to do a better entry and a better stop loss closer to the time, but that's the first scenario that I am going to be looking at. Now, there is also a second scenario that I'd be potentially looking at, and it would go something along these lines. So rather than have it come down here, retest, and then fall, what I'm actually wondering is if it's going to do this. Shoot straight through, have a retest first, and then come back down. Now, I would love this one more. Why? Because we'd be coming into an area where we will have pushed down. We come up, we retest it. What would that retest look like? We've already discussed this in a previous one. Just like this, where we would have hopped in on this area. That would have been a really good re-entry. That wick that comes up into that area. Just like we were talking about over here as well, we've got these really nice wicks that come back into that area. I do not want to see a large candlestick close here with no wick. I would love to see a candlestick, maybe if I could find something here. No, it's not going to work so well. But either way, what I'd be looking for is a candlestick somewhere around here, right? But I would want a massive wick coming out somewhere around here. So that's what I'd be looking for right now. That's what I'm looking for at this point in time. Now, what would we be doing? As soon as that candlestick closes, it's probably going to look something like this. We would put the entry here at the close of that candlestick, and we'd put our stop loss just above its wick. So say it was something like this, where it closed here. Let's just make that 4, and then it had a big wick that came back into this area, and we'll make that a 1. So it looks something like this, right? Our stop loss would be just above this area, somewhere here, and then we would go all the way down to this line. So you're looking at a 2.94, something like that, right? But of course, the wick needs to be quite substantial in size. We're not looking for something like this. As we said before, look at this one. Really small body and larger wick is what we're looking for. Smaller body, larger wick. Let's go back up here and actually see where's another really good retest in one of these areas. Even coming up to here, where we were going to enter, smaller body, larger wick, and a small candlestick next to it. Still came up into this area, still used this pivot point. That's perfect. That's what we really like to see. And even these guys are coming up, even though it's a large body, it's still the same thing. The wicks are reaching into this area. Same with this one right here, right? That's what we're looking for. Those are the best ones to enter in off. That's what I would really like to see. That's my number one, I guess, prediction of what's going to be happening this week. Of course, we're going to check it out and see what's happening. This is just a consolidation. Remember, guys, consolidation before it falls. Consolidation up here before it falls. Consolidation for ages before it falls, right? So we're just seeing, although it is ranging in quite a large area, now the pivot lines are starting to come in. Now it's really, instead of having this massive gap between here and here, all this space to play in, we'll now have 2 areas. One area here, and one area here, which means the market is now slowly closing. It's slowly condensing, and it's going to be putting pressure on the market for it to make an explosion. And again, we're still thinking it's going to the downside. If we go back to that daily time frame that we're looking at Saturday, it makes sense that it's going to come all the way down here. Makes complete sense. I don't think it's going to try and go all the way up. Again, although we slowed down on the Saturday, I believe that's a Saturday, or maybe this is the Saturday, whichever one it is, we do not have a bullish candle. It has come off here, it's bounced off the EMA, and now it's going to continue to fall down. I'm very, very confident in that. And even if we go to 4 hours, you can see that's really tried to push up, and guess what? We have come back into a really good area, a perfect area. If I was trading the 4-hour time frame, I would be doing this. Something like this. Going down to here, it's only a 1.8, 1.76, that kind of sucks. But that's what I'd be looking for. It's the same principle, guys. It's come up here into an area where the market has previously pushed down. And we can see again, this came into this exact area. What happened? It fell off. And what's so funny about this? This came into this area. Fell off. So we all know there's a big reaction from here because this is already a retest. This is already retested this area. And it's fallen. Come back up into this area, it's fallen again. Look what's happened. Come into this area, market's falling. I'm waiting for it to fall. The 4-hour is now confirming our bias, what we are looking for. So that's basically it from me today, guys. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I hope you've actually learned something. And I hope you're going to make a lot of money. If you see this and you do the trade the 4-hour, I'll basically be hopping in on this. That's something that I'd be looking for. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. Until the next episode, stay safe and enjoy. Bye.